Don't forget, we'll be back live Monday night, same back time, same back time, same back channel. Right now, I want y'all to kick it over there to Go for Green Living.
And
He's telling him to.
yeah. What did you do?
Oh, I don't know what happened to my camera. Sorry. There it is. Hey. Hey, guys. Sorry,
Hey guys.
technical difficulties. We were listening to Big Bear. They were running a little bit late, but that's okay. They were just giving us some thumbs up. So I already got eight viewers. Well,
Hey
today,
guys.
she's going to pull up comments real quick and let everybody get over here, and then we can see. Yeah, 10 views. It's growing pretty quick. We're going to talk about fall planting today, and
I have to show you my baby on my arm.
and she's got to show you her boo-boo on her arm.
That my daddy was doing the tut-up and like, he's funny sometimes. He gave me nuts.
I told her she showed it to me, and I said, I think we need to do surgery.
He's always talking to her about big needles
Let
and
me tell him.
okay.
Yeah, whenever she has to go to the doctor, I ask the doctor every time, where's the needles this long?
But let me do it up so where you can see where my baby is.
Oh, you see that? See, that needs surgery. Don't y'all agree with me? We just have to cut right there.
He's done it. You know how I did it? I hit it a T because I was doing the dough to the baby tick. I hit it a T. It hurt.
She hit a tree, and she was gonna go see the baby chicks, and it hurt. Yeah, which I believe it hurt because she's been telling about it for
The
days.
tips I'm eating is.
Oh.
What do you do?
I didn't do it, Mama did it. Oh, sorry. All right. Well, she's talking about the baby chicks.
Ow.
We are loaded with baby chicks, baby. Your home chips. I mean, that's one thing, that's we're really being blessed with right now is baby chickens. Of course, we've lost some to a possum, as everybody knows. I think that was the culprit of 8 others, but I can't prove it.
We have so many baby sticks that we can't stop having them.
Yeah, we got like 4 hens still sitting,
3 now.
and well, our turkey's still sitting too, so she's about to be hatching out some eggs.
We don't know how many.
You gonna say hey to everybody?
Yes, we got a bunch of chicks. Are you gonna say hey to everyone?
You gonna say hey to everybody?
I already did
Oh, how do you say that?
earlier.
I didn't see it. All right, well, it's time, everybody. It's time to start planning. You're thinking about your fall garden.
Mom.
Homesteading, y'all all know this already. You probably already got them started and probably wasting your time. But it's time for your broccolis, your cauliflowers, your Brussels sprouts, your cabbages to get them started as seedlings so that you can be ready to put them in the ground. And on the chips in front of my face. So don't do it again. So we haven't started ours yet.
Ow.
But we're going to start them here soon. And that's what I want to talk to you about is who has their started already. It's time too to start your winter tomatoes. So if you have them, your Siberian tomatoes, your cold tomatoes, you need to go ahead and get started. And of course, we don't have any of those either.
Wait, so what else have you covered so far?
These tips are really
We
big.
do
I
the
can't cut
cabbage, the broccoli.
Cabbage, broccoli, Swiss chard, kohlrabi. Well, it's a little early for kohlrabi, and it's a little early for lettuce. I would wait another month on your lettuce starts. Of course, we start everything in aquaponics, and it's really easy to take the seeds. You just kind of broadcast them out there, and all of a sudden you turn around and you got 50 of them.
And
You
we're
know,
gonna do fall carrots.
fall carrots. And
Sun
now
carrots.
my carrots are my Achilles heel. You know, I have never been able to grow carrots good. I think it's because we have hard red soil and they just really had trouble growing here. But I'm going to try them in aquaponics. I can grow everything else in aquaponics. So this year we're going to try them in aquaponics.
Kitty's Homestead said, what else do you recommend for fall and winter? Grandpa's farm. Okay, I guess I'll let you answer that one first.
Well, yeah, your collards, all your collards, you don't have to start your collards early here, but from what I understand, your collards up north, you need to go ahead and start them now. We'll plant them straight into the ground. You want them to be ready for when the first frost hits them, you know, because that's when they turn sweet, and they'll actually survive the whole winter here. But they'll get frosted a bunch of times. They'll droop, and then the next you go out there after it's defrosted some, and they'll be standing up. But yeah, all your brackish, not brackish. I forgot the word.
Excuse me.
It's on the spot right now. It's your broccolis, your cauliflowers, all the different cauliflowers that you grow.
We still haven't took a video on my travel system. We need to do that. I'm like, well, we haven't seen it. We have to do it outside, the graphic set, and I like walking hard down.
The grass is too cut. We cut it yesterday, as a matter of fact.
And you know what? My mama found her went over a turtle with a lawnmower, and it was still alive.
Yeah, she ran over a turtle with a lawnmower, but it's
It's a
still alive.
baby.
It's a baby. So anyway, she wants to do a video on her travel system, in which, you know, she just recently was her birthday, and she got this travel system that it's a stroller and a baby car seat.
You already showed
I already showed them. I already told them about that. I know. All right. So anyway, back to winter crops.
Comment.
She's like she can read these comments quick.
And we're comment.
I know there's a ton of comments coming in there, and Mama's not here, so I can't keep track of them. So I can't. I don't. She's looking for something real quick. All right.
I was grabbing my garden notebook.
She's grabbing her garden notebook, and I know Big Bear was just talking about that, his 3-binder notebook. I didn't, for the past 20 years, I didn't have a notebook until she started keeping a notebook, and I was like, well, that's a smart idea. You know, I always just tried to memorize everything. You know, if something grew well in a certain place, I know this might be controversial, but you know, somebody talks about crop rotations and all that. Well, I don't really rotate my crops. We grow the same thing in the same place.
We do rotate our tomatoes.
Yeah, our tomatoes.
Where is it in our? I told you.
Yeah, because of blight. Blight is in the ground, and we'll rotate our tomatoes so that it makes them harder to catch the blight. But that's just because we're just moving them from one spot to another spot. You know, because wilt, there's actually 5 different kinds of wilt disease for tomatoes in your ground. And, you know, if you plant tomato in the same place every year, it'll just make it easy. Because the tomato, unless it's to determine it, it won't die until the first freeze. And we that's one thing we like to do, is harvest our tomatoes until the very...
my travel system.
Okay.
I want to go play with my tablet system right now.
Okay, go.
You're pushing me. Ow!
Yeah, so now we've grown those Siberian tomatoes and blueberry tomatoes, which blueberry tomatoes everybody knows from our past
I want to
videos.
tell you the truth, if everybody's waiting in a line. I have 310. If I take a picture.
If she takes a picture.
You want me to take a picture?
No. But but we've grown them all year round, you know, in the greenhouse, and had fruit set, you know, in 30 and 40 degree weather. So it is possible to grow the Siberian tomatoes. They do tell the truth about the package. So I know if you're in homesteading, you've already thought about this. What am I going to plant now? You know, we are getting ready to do our third planting of potatoes. Our potatoes down, I was in the garden today weeding, you know, exactly what Big Bear was talking about. I was down there weeding, and, you know, and I said, oh, the potatoes are blooming. It's about time to harvest again. And these are our Idaho potatoes. So these will be our big potatoes for the year. And next we're going to plant, we have a bunch of beds ready to go in the ground. We don't really have many golds. I would normally plant golds, but we still got, you know, a good 90 days for the first frost. So I think we got time to plant some red potatoes in there and get a nice harvest.
And the majority of our growing goes on in the greenhouse. So there are a lot of winter tomatoes, but we can continue growing tomatoes for
I'm
a while.
taking a picture right now.
No, she's gonna take a picture of the travel system for y'all.
And our peppers. We
I'm
kept the same pepper plant, sorry guys, for 2 to 3 years, and they just keep coming back.
Yeah. They get kind of crazy though. I understand why. I mean, I understand that you would want to keep a pepper growing for several years, but they really get kind of knotty and tall. I mean, the peppers, you know, get bigger. You know, bell peppers this big, jalapenos this big. You know, from a 3-year-old plant. But they get kind of knotty and they snap really easy, and it's not. It's just easier to plant a new pepper plant every 2 to 3 years than to keep one alive. Of course, we keep bananas alive. We keep our moringa alive. We keep
We've got a ton of other fruit trees that we keep alive that are tropical.
kumquats. They aren't rated for our zone, but we grow them in the greenhouse.
The name.
They're a potato.
The turmeric.
The turmeric, ginger,
All
cranberries.
of our herbs.
Yeah, all our herbs. And this is without heat in the greenhouse. So unless it gets down to, you know, it's like below 10 degrees or something like that.
I even keep my aloes in there.
Yeah.
Of course, I've gradually adjusted them in there, and I want to move them to the summer room of the cob house. But yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we've been working on.
I took a picture of my first seat.
Oh, hold on. I don't think that's gonna work.
Okay, maybe I need this.
All right, guys. So I guess I'm gonna have to show you her travel system because she's really been wanting you guys to see it.
Yeah.
Here is her baby car seat for her baby doll. It goes into the car and it locks in. It's just like a normal one. This comes off.
Oh, right here.
Right here.
Just like a regular car seat. It's smaller and it's lighter, but it's for a baby doll. So, yes.
And I can't put it forward. We have to do it on the phone.
And she has the matching stroller that the car seat latches onto. So.
Yeah.
Look,
So
let me tell you the baby that Sorry.
sorry about that. I know we're talking about planting and stuff like that.
Here's
But,
my baby that I've been doing. I have a new baby.
And what's her name?
Really?
Lily.
Lily, that's
My other one got tucked all over the face. I'm like, I have to save my
From
baby.
her homemade milk.
Oh, Big Bear, thank you for saying that about me, that I could grow a human. I've been told that I could root a fence post before, but, you know, I also been told I could talk to a fence post, so, okay.
All right. So, Old Ways, New Times says having problems getting serranos to grow longer than 2 to 3 inches. Any suggestions, please?
Now, that Serranos is one of our favorite peppers. We use worm casting tea rabbit manure, and our red clay soil. And serranos are a pepper that it matures red, so you can eat them green, but they taste the best red, and that's what you make the best chili sauce out of. So, but yeah, I would just use rabbit manure and worm casting tea. That's all we use with our red clay soil. But with the red clay soil, the red peppers, they go together. They grow well. So
Cherry says, my dad says that I'll argue with a fence post. We say that all the time to Anna, so that's cool.
Yeah. So, but yeah.
And then she gets in trouble for sassing me.
Yeah. Then she gets it. Yeah. That's just like the travel system. She wanted to show that. She's been looking forward to all week. So
Okay. So, Mike Miller says, the only I have problems with is Brandywines. All others are doing fine. I got Ruggers. I know what he's talking about, but I can't.
Rutgers.
Yeah. Beefsteaks and cherry tomatoes.
You need to graft them. Graft them to a supernatural rootstock. And it is not that hard. And you won't believe, I grew a 2-pound, 11-ounce tomato last year. I mean, it was like this. To graft, all you do is you're just hacking the plant off from the rootstock, which is supernatural rootstock. It's the only one that isn't a GMO, so genetically modified. The other ones, the Maxi Fort and all that, has been actually where they modified the DNA. Supernatural is a green, unedible tomato that happens to be completely disease resistant to wilt and blight. So that's what you want. So what you do is you take your Brandywine, you grow them both the same size, make sure that the trunks of them are the same size, and then you just hack them off. And I have a ton of videos doing that, but you just hack them off and you just kind of put them together, put your clip on there, and then put them in a dark place, like a really humid, dark place for a couple of days, and just kind of work them into the sun. You wouldn't believe the tomato production that you get off of it. You actually get heirloom tomatoes that produce full-size tomatoes. The seed pack says, up to 2 pounds, but from a regular tomato plant, you're not going to get a 2-pound tomato. But you graft it, and then you get 2 to 3 pound tomatoes, and they're everywhere on the plant, because the rootstock is keeping the disease away from the plant, and it's able to do what it's meant to do. Any questions?
No, not so far. But with our gardening, I do a lot like Big Bear and Dirt Patch Heaven and everyone else. Melanie Road the Farm. I keep a notebook, like he said, with what we plant in the fall, what we plant in the summer, how all that stuff does, and then I also add to it of new things that we want to grow. We eat a lot of root vegetables and a lot of tomatoes.
Yeah.
So that's our main diet, but we also include the greens in there, but not near as much as the root crops and the tomatoes.
Yeah,
The tomatoes is our biggest crop.
Fruit and root crops, is mainly what we grow outside. We planted some tomatoes. This year, we lost our entire crop of outside tomatoes to squash bugs, because I didn't plant squash out there. They just went ahead and attacked the tomatoes and wiped me out before I could do anything about it. So I really hate squash bugs.
Have you tried the banana peel experiment for blossom rot on your tomatoes?
I haven't, and it's aphid control. If you got aphids real bad, you put the banana peel right under the soil level, and it controls the aphids on the plant. It has a natural insecticide, I guess, that works through the plant and helps it repel, I guess, the potassium in it, and aphids really don't like it. So yeah, but I have a video on it. one of my older videos. It might not be that good, but you know.
Yeah.
You live and learn. Yeah.
So we've just been harvesting a lot, trying to preserve, and just doing other projects around the homestead.
Yeah, we started drying tomatoes. We harvested okra right now, and haven't quite got enough
tomatoes.
Tomatoes, and not quite enough okra for okra yet. But I'm waiting, so I
And
can't wait.
Malabar spinach is coming in like crazy.
Yeah, Malabar spinach coming in. We could cucumbers are coming in like crazy. We're gonna be making pickles here soon. So
and peppers.
And peppers. I had a jalapeno yesterday with I made a little cucumber tomato salad and got my mouth watering thinking about it. It's so good. But it was angry. It was an angry jalapeno. It was like, whoa, you're angry at me for some reason.
I was actually on the phone with Ozark family. He came. He was like telling me about it, and it was hilarious.
It was burning up. And I needed the capsaicin, so I kept going with it. And she made a big old pot of butter beans, and it was good. And well, we had a good dinner tonight. She cooked some baked chicken and potatoes with green beans. Oh, I am so full. It was awesome.
Do you do any winter cover crops?
We plant winter rye, and you know, for just to help the soil. And oh, she wants to show her.
Oh, okay. I'm in my nightgown, but.
All right,
you have to take that off.
she's going to show you her travel system real quick.
So this is her travel system. That her car seat lasts.
The front wheels. They're right wheels.
Yeah.
She wanted to show the wheels.
That's what she got for her birthday. So she asked for an entire year. So she does all her chores around here, and just like we're talking about, she has chores. She waters the chickens, she feeds the chickens, she helps me put them up at night, and she's really good about making sure that they don't run out of water. She'll go down there and check 3 or 4 times a day. I'm like, okay, but she'll go down there and change their water, and complains about the ducks messing up their water. What were you saying today about the baby chicks? She don't remember.
Very interesting. Oops, I lost it. Heaven help us said I had a friend who would eat a jalapeno sandwich to sweat out a cold. Very brave. I believe Daniel would do that.
Yeah, I would do that. Well, the capsaicin is so good for everybody should be intaking it. And the hotter the pepper, the more capsaicin it is. So the hotter the pepper you can handle, the better for you. Good for your digestive system. It's good for your blood pressure. It's good for all that. And we're getting to the point where I can have one at every meal, and I will have one, even with my grits and eggs.
Amanda's garden, you had cornbread and milk tonight? Oh, I envy you. I love that.
She likes that. I'm not a real big fan of cornbread and milk. I like butter, some little fresh goat milk butter. That would be awesome on cornbread. Well, that is awesome. Or some butter beans on cornbread. Getting me hungry again, y'all. All right, we're getting distracted. Now, in the aquaponics, let me tell you a little bit about something. We don't heat the greenhouse unless it's really, really cold. In the single digits. We'll heat the aqua, but it'll not freeze, and it'll stay. Anything we put in there will not freeze. Tomatoes, cucumbers, moringas, all her herbs, her horsetails, mints. For some reason, around that bulkness of water, it won't freeze. So we'll take and we'll shove all her aloes underneath the aquaponics, and they won't freeze. So she's
Wayne's Homestead said, yes, I use buttermilk biscuits every morning.
Yes, they're awesome.
But all I do is use regular milk and put vinegar in it. So.
And she started making gravy, y'all. It is awesome. Thumbs up, thumbs up. She'll call me in breakfast time, and I'll come back and say, all right, gravy with biscuits. And And I don't know if y'all saw the jam and jelly where I made the pear preserves. That's my favorite. And I love just heaping a couple of teaspoons of pear preserves on a nice warm buttery biscuit. Oh, but okay, not enough about food. But anyway, the aquaponics, it keeps it warm so that it'll never freeze. And it's been 9 degrees and an aloe not burn in aquaponics. So they're really good systems. And Big Bear, we are going to get your aquaponics fixed. You know, I just got to get there and help you out on that so that we can get your system going. Because the person who taught me, you know, and she was an awesome person, she kept telling me, I said, well, don't you have to do this? Don't you have to do this? And she's like, no, I just try it this way. And she had a bed with dirt in it, and the water ran through with the dirt. I was like, you can't do that. And she was doing it. And she grew full fruit trees in there, fig trees. She had a pepper plant. We were talking about the peppers earlier, but she had a pepper plant that was probably 15 feet tall. And it was a Scotch bonnet plant, and we have seeds from that plant. I like them, you know, that they're really hot. And, I have to put like one in a whole pot of soup, and it'd still be spicy.
And Anna loves it that way.
Anna likes spicy, so and them two, they don't complain when it's my turn to cook, and well, I'm trying to help out cooking, and I'll put all kinds of healthy stuff in there. I'll put moringa and the dried lamb's quarter, and I make a 5-pepper blend, you know, and I'll shake all over everything.
Okay, so someone said gravy with garlic, onion powder, chipotle powder, and a little liquid smoke. Could you see us doing that? I
Yes.
absolutely could.
Yes.
So you want to tell them how I learned how to make gravy?
Somebody taught her how to make gravy, and somebody taught her about liquid smoke, and we really appreciate that. Actually,
No.
I had just about turned totally off of hamburger meat for some reason. It just tasted bad, you know. I didn't know if they were making that gel stuff in hamburger meat, but I was just like, let's just go ground turkey all the way, and you know, not even eat red meat anymore. But she changed my mind again and showed me that a little red meat in your diet is okay.
We eat it very rarely. Like, I think we had it once this year.
Yeah, once this year, and well, twice. We had hamburgers once, and then we had a roast, and both were excellent. Next day I made hash. I love hash. You know, the like turkey hash or beef hash or anything like that. You just add your potatoes to the gravy and the meat. You shred up the meat, and then you put it over bread. Little cranberry sauce on the side. Awesome. You know.
Family Roots Farm said, would the aquaponics work in colder climates in the north?
Yes.
Yes.
There's people that have aquaponic systems in, you know, the colder climates up there.
You just need a different kind of fish.
Different kind of fish than tilapia. Now, I lost 4,000 tilapia last year and it wasn't even that cold a night. It had been in the teens for like, you know, a week last year. Really unusual. And then it had been warm. It had warmed up, and then it dropped down to 40 degrees. And for some reason, that little shock from 80 degrees to 40 degrees, it wiped them out. And they can't take that much of a change. So, but this year, they're going in the root cellar. They're going into our tiny house. They go everywhere. It was a lesson learned.
Okay, so Home Place Journal says they put tons of junk in processed hamburger. Yes, we know. We also have a friend in Gadsden who butchers 4 cows a year.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, I do a little work for him, and we earn a little bit of beef. It's just a trade-off. We'll barter my labor. Like Monday, I have to go course, I'm going to bring you all along. I'm going to film it. A friend of mine's got a solar system he's installing, and what I'm doing is this: I'm just wiring it all together, and so that he can start. He's going to be grid tie, so he wants to start making the power company. So.
Empty Hammock said, what percentage of your food is from your aquaponics? A lot of our food comes from our aquaponics because we're rooting tons of stuff in there, and once it roots, then we plant it out. We don't grow a lot of lettuce or a lot of broccoli, a lot of stuff in there. Most of what we do is root. We root tons of things in there.
We root or start our seeds. She grows, we grow cranberries in there. But if you count what we started as seed-wise and what we root in there, I would say 80%.
I want to get to where I can put my banana trees in the aquaponics. I want to expand our aquaponics out. Because right now we have 10 grow beds, and 5 of them grow beds he's got with duckweed that he feeds our animals. Well, we dehydrate and feed our animals. But the other 5, there's just not enough room. So yeah, I want to get some grow beds for our banana trees and other things that I want to grow in there, because I would love to grow kale and try more root crops like the carrots and everything, because I mean we're growing turnip greens, and we grew how many other root crops in there?
Horseradish.
Horseradish. Yeah, we started our horseradish, our ginger, and our turmeric in the aquaponics. That's how I kept one of my turmerics alive when I first began, Hawaiian turmeric.
Yeah, when you first started.
Someone actually gave it to me when I went to start, and he didn't believe it would live. I got scorned that day, but I proved him wrong once again. It was very tough to keep it alive. I actually had to put a big glass jar over it. Anyway, long story, but I kept it alive, and it's all right. So
yeah, and now we have plenty, and that's one thing we're going to be offering y'all soon. As soon as we get the video done, we talked about it. We're going to offer for a limited time turmeric, ginger, our spices. We want to do a couple of projects on the homestead, and this is something that we worked hard to do. We're not as ready as we'd like to be, but if you don't start somewhere, then you're just backing up. So we're going to start selling our stuff while supplies last. Because like onion powder. Have you ever realized how much when you buy that little thing of onion powder? Can you imagine how many onions are in there? You think, oh, 1 or 2. No, it's like 30. In a little jar, it's like 30 onions in there, dried and then powdered up, so it's a lot. So that's very limited supply.
Donna S says, I don't understand the aquaponics. I saw one where they had an ecosystem going with fish, chickens, plants. Do we use
I saw that
fish,
too.
Do we use the fish water for the plant water? Yes.
Yes. Now we would like to turn the whole greenhouse into aquaponics and not grow in the ground altogether. Just take a whole big beds and grow bananas, and there would never be any heat in there because the water. A little bit of physics here, not trying to get over everybody's head or sound like a smarty pants, but if you want to store heat, the best place to store it is in water. So if you have an aquaponics system that's running 70 degrees, or 75 degrees or 78 degrees, whatever the sun gets it to at nighttime, no matter what the temperature is outside, the water's not going to drop but a few degrees. So it's because it's going to retain that heat, and it's going to be running over your plants and keeping them warm, and then in turn keeping the entire greenhouse going.
Freaky Geek 2 says, when do you expect bananas to produce?
They're producing right now. We're growing bananas right now. We've probably
they're already flowering. They're making little bananas.
Yeah, we got that big right now. And our bigger plants, the smaller plants, they'll be smaller. And we actually this year we're trying some red bananas, so we'll see how they do.
Yeah, it's our first year on them. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So but as far as we normally get only about 100 pounds, but this year I'm saying we're going to get close to 200 pounds of bananas, which will be awesome because we fry them up like potatoes when they're green, and we'll just use them like a potato. And
Donna also asked, how do you grow in the greenhouse in this heat?
I go in there in the morning early, like I said before, when she's cooking breakfast, I'm in the greenhouse, just as the sun's coming up. I have to water in the middle of the day, but I'll come back and I'll be totally drenched. But I'll go in there in the morning. It's 70, 75 degrees in there, unless it's like 80 degrees outside. And I'll do my work there, and I work for a couple of hours each morning if the sun permits me. Sometimes when it's cloudy, it'll give me 3 or 4 hours. And that's something that I was going to tell y'all. We can't afford it, but we want to get a webcam and a cord that will reach and go all the way down to the greenhouse. And then every morning, except for the Sabbath, you would see me come out there. I'll turn on the webcam, and you'd see whatever I'm doing for those couple hours. It wouldn't be instructional, but what you'd see is working in there, harvesting, taking cuttings, weeding, all the monotonous stuff, working, planting plants. When a plant, I'm putting a new plant, I'm putting a new one in, and actually it won't be till September, but in September, the end of September, we'll be taking out some of our summer crops, like our okras and our squashes and stuff like that, stuff that's probably already petered out by then anyway.
Our tomatoes.
Well, we'll wait till like mid-October for our tomatoes, but
until the first frost.
Till the first frost.
And last year our first frost didn't come till way late, after October.
Normally our first frost here is Halloween, kind of fits, but it's normally right around there that our first frost is. But then we'll start putting in our lettuces, and we have different holes in the ground. We have 6-inch holes that are 6 inches apart, and we have 12-inch apart holes, and then we have 2 feet apart holes. So whatever we're planting, squash goes 2 feet apart, tomatoes go 1 foot apart, and our lettuces we put 6 inches apart, and sometimes even put them closer depending on what variety we're growing. If we're growing our leaf lettuces and stuff, they'll be right in together as bunches, and just go right down the line.
All right, we have a couple of people asking if we'll barter. One asked, would we barter for a woven christening, I know what she's saying, but I can't pronounce it. I'm horrible. Blanket in exchange. Barter. Yes, we will barter. Absolutely.
Yeah, we love to barter, and that's one thing that we suggest to everybody: start a bartering system now, because you never know what's going to happen. I mean,
buffering.
Oh,
maybe that's just me.
We're buffering. I hope we're not buffering on the phone. We're buffering, but not here. But yeah, bartering. That's another thing we do with everybody. And you don't even have to. If somebody wants to come help me for a couple hours, which they do, they'll come and help me work in the greenhouse, and then I'll load them up with vegetables, and it's a good exchange. It helps them, and it helps me, to get some extra work done, and because there's a lot of work. Big Bear's right. There's just so much work to do on a homestead that you're always working, and this heat, it just like beats you up, like literally beats you up, and to where you just come and you just melt into place. You're like, oh, I can't move. And
Donna asked, what do you feed the fish?
We feed them duckweed. They grow their own they grow their own food in the aquaponics, and actually the duckweed helps purify the water, so that I never have to put chemicals in the water or anything, because the water plants we grow, umbrella grass, duckweed, those kind of things, they'll handle spikes of ammonia, or they'll handle, we harvest our fish and we eat our fish. Everybody knows that. So, we use tilapia as ground beef most of the time. So, but they get excited when we're chasing them to catch them. So there's going to be an ammonia spike. So the water plants will fix that ammonia spike so that it doesn't affect the plants that we're growing in the rocks.
All right. So Kitty-san said, what kind of fish do you have?
We have tilapia, white tilapia, whites. They're the big ones. We grow about 3 to 3.5 pound fish in a season. We started off this year with 4. Now we got about 600, whereas just a couple of weeks ago we only had like 400. So they multiply pretty quickly.
Okay, Donna S. also asked, is there anything that can contaminate the plants that could come from ill fish or contaminated of their water? Do you have to watch that? We watch the pH and all that.
Yeah, we watch the pH. A sickly fish or something, the plants, they thrive on eating that kind of stuff. So if they were to get sick or something, that would benefit from that, because they're used to being out in the wild, and they stabilize the water again. So, and the plants like their products that they produce.
Ground tilapia.
Yeah, ground tilapia. That's we use it in spaghetti. We use it in lasagna. We use it. We'll grill them. We'll fry them. It's a very plain meat. It'll take on whatever flavor you add to it. Like if you want it to be a hamburger meat, put a little beef stock in there, and it'll become a hamburger meat.
How would you rate the taste of your tomatoes? Awesome. Like better than any tomatoes that you can get. I would rather eat tomatoes off the Homestead any day.
Yeah.
And I don't like raw tomatoes. Like they have to be dehydrated or cooked. But yeah, I love our tomatoes. I use our tomato powder like it's going out of style.
Yeah, that's another thing we're going to offer too, our tomato powder. Our sun-dried tomatoes, we had a little mishap with them. It was my fault. I put them in Mylar bags. I normally keep them in jars where nothing can get to them. And apparently something wanted them more than I had prepared them for. So,
Bumblebee Johnson said, any trouble with oxygen drop-off at night?
No. No, we have aerators in there. So, plus the plants produce oxygen. They're pulling out the CO2. And I have, half my aquaponics system is water plants. So half of it's working to produce oxygen and purify the water, and the other half is we grow the plants, and the plants are producing oxygen. It's a very rich, I don't even have to run oxygen aerators in there, but I do, because I don't want the fish to ever struggle if there was a problem. There hasn't been yet, but if there was.
What fish can take a temperature change?
Brim. You could do catfish, but we don't eat catfish. We don't eat bottom feeders. But brim, they have a brim in Georgia. It's called a hybrid brim, and they get like 5 pounds brim. But bluegills, if you look in American Homestead, they grow bluegills, and it gets really cold up there.
Tilapia are illegal in empty hammock state. I wonder why.
Because I don't know where you're at, empty hammock, but I think because it stays warm enough that they can survive during the wintertime, and they'll take over they.
Some people use bass in colder areas.
Yeah, I thought about bass. There's some that you can get that you can ring feed. It's train them to come up to this ring to eat, and you don't have to feed them minnows and stuff. They'll eat regular protein food. You just have to find a fishery that starts them out that as fries, and then they'll just pick it up, and you can just feed them protein the whole time.
Back to tomato rootstock. Did you grow your own rootstock? What is the name of it again?
Supernatural. And yeah, we grow our own rootstock. You can get them. They're expensive to start. They're like $11 for 20 seeds. They're expensive, but the thing about it is, we were kind of thinking, and we bought the $20 worth. I mean, the $11 worth for the 20 seeds, and we grew half of them as plants, and then harvested the seeds, and then we have a lifetime supply of supernatural seeds.
Yes, Jacob Morrow. The land across from us is still for sale.
Yeah.
He said that he looked at the website under the agent's name, but did not find an MLS listing. You have his phone number.
Well, it's on the. I could try to find it for you if you need me to. Just contact me through YouTube, and I'll get you my number. You can give me a call, and I'll try to get you in touch with him if you're interested.
Kitty's Homestead. Are you finished?
Yes.
Kitty's Homestead. I'm sorry. Where can you order fish?
What kind of fish you looking for?
I'm sure tilapia.
If you're looking for tilapia, yeah, well, there are other places, but if you're looking for whites, I'm sure I can provide them for you, no problem there. And these whites are very prolific. So even if you live in a cold climate and you bring them into a fish tank for the winter time, and then put them out there, they're going to give you fish and greens, so you can have fish and salad every day.
Kitty's Homestead said there are none local for me. That's why I'm asking. Bluegill and tilapia.
Bluegill. Well, you can mail order bluegills. There's a bunch of hatcheries in Georgia and Mississippi. They have a bunch of them there. We're actually thinking about when we move the tilapia in here, is putting bluegill into the aquaponics to run during the winter time, and then moving them into the tanks, to just trade back and forth, because tilapia are such producers of meat. It's very easy for us to grow 900 fish, and that would be a fish a piece for me, Krista, and Anna. So it's a day.
All right. I was going to say something, and I forgot completely.
Trout are good too for cold weather.
As far as the bartering goes, anyone who wants to barter anything, just contact us and let us know. I'm sure there's a whole lot that we have to barter that we haven't mentioned, so I need to revise my list and post that for y'all. But yes, anyone who wants to barter, just contact us and let us know. We would love to do that. It's actually one of our passions.
Yes.
Kitty's Homestead, she said she would be willing to barter or buy tilapia from us. Absolutely. Just give us the email, and we'll email you back.
Yes.
That's awesome. As I recall from my childhood, bluegill are good eating.
Yes. Nice. That's one of my favorite fish. It's a nice white meat. They're a little bumpy, but as a kid, you probably remember, picking them off the bones. But we live on the Lake Wedowee, and my brother from California, he comes here, and he's an avid fisherman. And he says, I say, well, what do you go fish for? And all he wants to do is go fish for brim. He says, they're my favorite. So, not for the big bass or anything like that.
So Kitty's Homestead says, how do we contact you on YouTube?
If you go to the About page, and she'll put our email to this video.
But I'll also tell it to y'all. Here, I'll tell it to y'all. It's D as in Daniel, S813 gophergreenliving@gmail.com. And I know that's really long, but also make sure to put it in the link below.
Yeah.
She also gave us our number. Thank you. When would be a good time to call you?
Well,
How large did bluegill get? I seem to remember small ones from when I fished as a kid.
well, they can get big. They can get a good, I don't know, this big. You know, you get a nice. They'll get big enough you can fillet. You know, when the tilapia we fillet them all, but the bluegill will get big enough to fillet, and they're prolific breeders too, and you know they'll get pretty large, about a pound, you know, maybe a pound and a quarter if you really feed them good.
In Georgia, you cannot have tilapia in stock tanks or ponds, but may be raised in tanks or aquaria without a permit. However, they cannot be sold unless you have birds get huge. All I can offer anyone to barter is art.
Art.
A license to do so. Keith's Homestead DS 813 go for green living at Gmail. At Gmail. Sorry, Keith's Homestead. Sorry, I didn't say Gmail.
Or are we off topic? We're supposed to be talking about
Okay.
winter plants.
So it is nights till and I want to kind of take over from talking about the fall gardening. We can cover a little bit more in depth and detail if y'all like us to. But I want to talk a little bit about what Big Bear said, because I've actually been focused a lot on that this week too. I've been concentrated on getting our homeschool schedule down and our routine down, because the last month routines changed. So
I mean to change up.
yes, we've been trying to plan out our day and get another routine since homeschool's supposed to start up, and planning out fall projects and so on and so forth. Because like Big Bear said, when it's summer, you're getting ready for fall, and when it's winter, you're getting ready for spring. The same way here. And so, yeah, we've been
Getting ready. We're fixing to start getting ready for fall, and with fall, I lose my main helpers there because she's going to be homeschooling and she's going to be teaching her. Of course, I'm going to be teaching math and science. See, that needs surgery right there. We just need to cut that from right down there.
okay. So, what plants are considered fall plants? And Kara's Pendleton said, "Can anyone see me?" Yes.
Yeah, fall plants, your broccolis, your kales, your cauliflowers, your lettuces, pumpkins. You should already have your pumpkins in there, but it's not too late here in the South. It's not too late for pumpkins. It's probably too late for your winter squashes, but you should have them going, and you should be getting ready to get some butternut squash, acorn squash, spaghetti squash, and your pumpkins. Get your college ready.
Ew.
I know, I'm sweating.
But this baby is really bad hurting right now.
It's hurting right now. I'm sorry. She's climbing trees like a monkey.
I fell
Yes.
in the sand.
So,
Okay.
yes, I'm having to. With homeschooling, I'm having to. I work out in the yard a lot. I'm having to read. I'm trying to get her back in routine, because last month her dad told her she could have off
For the month of July.
So now I've got to get her back in routine, and I'm trying to get her back in routine in the next 2 weeks. So we're gonna see how that
I
goes.
think 10, I think 10, I think 10.
She's Devo in my tea, y'all.
Yeah.
Um.
The ice is melted.
Yeah. So yeah. Right now, the way my schedule is going to be, I'm only going to be able to be out working in the garden before Anna wakes up, because she's a late sleeper.
Yeah.
And I'll be outside early in the morning. I'll come in, I'll cook breakfast, I'll wash dishes, get Anna ready for school, get her foot brace on, and then we'll start homeschooling, so on and so forth. And then in the afternoon, after lunch, I'll have another slot to be able to go out and do projects on the homestead. So yeah,
That's just when it gets to be fall and actually choose temperatures and wintertime. It's, I don't like the cold. I mean, nobody really likes the really cold, but boy, you can get a lot of work done.
Yes. You can add a whole lot layers on than you can take off.
Yeah.
And right now we're working early in the mornings outside, and we're working late in the evenings. We're outside in the middle of the day, but we're under a shade tree somewhere.
Yeah.
Like our how to do laundry off the grid. We were under a shade tree yesterday, and it felt amazing. That's one of our favorite spots in the yard, actually.
Here, being close to the lake, when it gets really hot, it's a really good chance that a thunderstorm will pop up and just kind of cool off the whole day, and it just feels like air conditioning blowing all over you when the wind starts whipping. What? I don't have a boo-boo.
He had pepper on it and he loved it on his hand.
I was doing a live show a long time ago for a TV show, and we were planting ghost peppers, and I was taking and putting them into the seed trays with my finger. It was sweating and hot, and sweat was starting to run right there. So I just wiped the sweat off, and by the end of the show, I had blisters all up and down there. So
Doc asked, do we grow beets? Yes.
Yes,
And well, what the story behind Anna not doing homeschool this month was, Dan said, it's your birthday month, so you don't have to do school. I was going to do school all summer long, regardless. So she only had 1 month off, but she did. Mom. She had a month off. So.
Oh, speaking of which, everybody that can't hear me on my videos, I have a new microphone. So this soft-spoken man will have a new microphone and a tripod for the phone, so our video quality should go up eventually.
Nana is commenting on our live stream. She said, "Hey Anna," I didn't know who it was. Now she says, "Nana's tea," laugh out loud.
What does her say?
She's picking on you about drinking Nana's tea.
Oh, but anyway, about the Anna, quit. Real quick about the greenhouse. Anybody interested in me working in the greenhouse, all I need is a webcam and a 100-foot cord, and you can see, it'll be for everybody, but you'll see me working in the greenhouse every morning, except for the Sabbath, and until it gets hot, and it'll be sporadic times. It'll be from like as soon as it gets daylight, 5:30 to 8:30, something like that. As long as we can go in there, and sometimes I will bring the camera down and take cuttings and stuff like that, because this time of year we're really pushing to get our fall crops in, so we can get ready to get our winter crops in. So we have to start working on our winter crops as well as our fall crops.
Grandma's homestead said, "Why can't you homeschool in the evenings when you can't work at other things?" Because Anna gets really she's much better. Yeah, it's grandma's.
Oh, grandma's
homestead. Grandma's homestead.
Grandma's
she gets very cranky in the evening.
Yeah.
So it's impossible to do anything with her. I would say 2:30, 3 o'clock. As far as
I am too tired when I wake up. I wake up really, really late.
Yeah.
90 minutes. I am so tired.
She hates it when she sleeps in too long. She said, "Why didn't you wake me up?" Because I'll go let the chickens out, and she hates it when I do her chores for her.
You know what? When I got my chore seat, I was still asleep.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why didn't you wake me up? My tablet's just not here. My chore seat. I was
Okay.
awake when my phone
Well,
got here.
but anyway, anybody interested in the actual work that goes in, everyday work that goes in a greenhouse every day, you know, then let me know. We just need a webcam and a really long.
The baby chicks outside. The white lion.
Oh yeah, we're gonna go put the baby chicks up in
white hen.
in the white hen. In the chicken tractor we have some bantams, and
We have more baby denim.
the baby bantams can't quite jump up on the ladder to go up into the thing, so she just covers them up on the ground. And you know, we're worried about them being vulnerable to the possums and raccoons and stuff, so we like them to go up into the nest area. And so
They're more safer up there.
so we have to go out there after the show is done, and
We might be there if we have enough on our phone.
All right, everyone. It's
Yeah,
that time.
at that time, oh, it's 9:01. Y'all make sure you start come back tomorrow night, not to our channel, to the Homestead Network, and check all them channels out. You know, it's American Homesteads at that night.
Daniel, what cord?
It's a USB cord.
And it's a
but-
USB cord.
Yeah, it's a USB cord that is the webcam plugs into the USB cord, which I can plug into the computer up here, and so that I can run it down into the greenhouse and just keep it in the greenhouse, and I don't have to move this PC down there every day to work in the greenhouse. I just figured y'all miss so much every morning in me working. I mean, I'm planting and seeding and working in the aquaponics, working with the fish, harvesting the plants, and just I thought while I was down there working every day, y'all could come down there and be part of it.
Bandana Grandma said, "What would the soup help me with early blight on my tomatoes?"
Yes, it'll keep all disease away from your tomatoes, and you'll have tomatoes like you would not believe. It does not change the flavor. And I actually ate some of the supernatural tomatoes, and because they said an edible tomato, and actually they're not bad. You know, they taste like a tomato to me.
Kitty's Homestead said, "Do you have an Amazon wish list that you have set up for us to see?"
I don't even know what that is. I'm sorry, but we'll find out after this show. An Amazon wish list. But we'll find out after the show what an Amazon wish list is, and that way it wouldn't be so much instructions. It would be sometimes, but
Huh?
Everyone can't wait to see you next week.
What?
I'll see you on here.
somebody said they can't wait to see you next week.
Well, I'm not going to be on here next week. I'm going to be bringing my kittens, so it's going to be, might be outside.
Oh, yeah. See what I say about what Mama said about when it's late, she gets cranky, and she loves these veggie potato chips. There's everybody needs comfort food, and that's her comfort. Oh, the last pack.
Okay,
Oh,
Kitty Thompson said, "Add things you need help with getting, and people can send you things from Amazon."
Well, that would be awesome. And then that way I could share more. I figured, you know, I'm not asking for a handout either. I would be glad to barter with anybody that
That is a really good thing.
on anything, you know. And we do have some supernatural seeds that I would be willing to barter with. Maybe 500, and I'd like to save myself quite a few too. So, but Yeah, like I said, we really stocked on those seeds. When it, like right now, we have some seeds that we just got from a plant that we got last year, and this plant is a green that you eat. It grows all through the spring, and it just now went to seed, and the leaves on it were this big. It would really feed your family if you needed it. I don't know what it's called, but it was really big green, and it really grew huge. And it asked people, what is this plant? But I have some of those seeds. It starts with a P. I remember that when the guy gave me the seeds, a guy from White Harvest Seed Company, he said, "Here, try these seeds out." And so I did, and he said they're green, they're like a spinach, they're big, and he was right. Some of the leaves on there are 4 feet long, and this wide. But anyway, we're way over time, guys, and I hope everybody caught our washing machine video that we posted. Well, it was supposed to be last night, but I couldn't get it edited in time. It came out this morning on how we wash clothes. And
these are my favorite too. I was watching.
Anybody needs us, just email us, and we'll try our best to help.
I was with taste these up there, so good.
And you can tell she's tired.
Yeah.
Look at her little eyes.
Yeah. She's tired. She woke up late, as always, with no nap.
We're done the video of me watering the greenhouse off by myself.
Yeah. That's one of her new chores, talking about chores. But she waters the chickens, she feeds the chickens, and if she's awake, she let them out, and she helps me put them up, and we take care of the baby chicks and make sure they're all put up. And
we have
okay. But she wants to take on watering the greenhouse, which is a big responsibility, and I think she can handle it. So we'll try it out for a couple of days with me helping her to water the greenhouse, and then I just might let her do it in her room. So y'all wish her the best of luck on that, because she is an awesome little worker, and she is a water bug. She just likes to play in water.
I was playing myself with a water hose one time.
Yeah, she went in there today getting chicken water.
No, you mean yesterday?
Yesterday. Oh, and she come out. I had to spray myself with the water hose.
I did.
Come here, Bella Boo.
And
why are you going up me?
we have a new addition to the homestead.
Here's Bella.
Let me hold her. I lost my other puppy, so I have my
Alright,
new
guys,
puppy.
so I think we're gonna end it here. The whole family.
Yes.
Ani, Obe, Olcha means I love you in Hebrew. Bye, you two friends.
Later, guys. Oh, I just got blurry.